What's going on, guys? Good morning. Just got back from my run. I'm feeling very good. Didn't want to run, but ran, and now I feel better. That's usually how it works, right? When we do things that we don't want to do. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about Mullen. Mullen actually did not drop a 10K yesterday, so I'm going to be breaking down literally what they put out in the document after hours yesterday, so stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be talking about the charts and the wedge that I've been drawing for you guys over the last couple of weeks. Mullen has been trading within it, so I'm going to show you what I think could happen next. And honestly, I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts with Mullen right now and just where we're at. I've been covering this stock for a whole year, every single day, sometimes 2 videos a day if Mullen puts out news. So this one might be a little longer, but if you're here for it, stay for it, and let's get into it. Don't forget to drop a like. I would always appreciate that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Let's get this channel to 10,000 subscribers. I also talk a lot about other stocks. I do Mullen a lot, but I'm also into mining stocks, which I'm getting into. Very recently, we just caught the last run, and then some other stocks as well. Don't forget to grab your coffee. Here's mine. First things first, let's break this down. They have it in different sections. So this is part 1. I believe there's 4 parts. Let's just read this together because honestly, I haven't even read it yet. It's been a crazy weekend, crazy day yesterday. But it says, nothing in this form shall be constructed to imply that the commission has verified any information contained. If the notification relates to a portion of the filing checked above, identify the items to which notification relates. Okay, so this doesn't really matter. Part 1, Mullen Automotive, obviously, this looks like the address of their headquarters, obviously in Brea, California, which is far from me, right? I'm in California, but it's a little far. I wish I could go visit them. It just doesn't make sense for me right now. This is section 2, part 2, rules 12B, B and C, okay? If the subject report cannot be filed with an unreasonable effort to expense the registration seeks relief pursuant to rule 12B, the following should be completed. So I think this is in regards to why they haven't dropped the 10K. The reason described for a reasonable detail in part 3 of this form could not be eliminated without unreasonable effort or expense. The subject annual report, so that's a 10K, the annual report, semi-annual report, transition report on form 10K, form LK, form, a lot of different forms, will be filed on behalf before the 15th calendar day. So before January, it looks like 15th, following the prescribed due date. So 15 days from the actual due date, which I believe the due date was yesterday. So 15 days from December 29th. So first thoughts, I don't like that they push this back. It's never a good sign when companies push things back from when they're due. Just in regards to a stock, you could literally look it up yourself. It's not a positive thing, it's a negative thing actually. So this part right here, part 3, is gonna tell us why they didn't file it on time. You can see below me, Mullen Automotive is in the process of completing valuations related to the assets acquired from Bollinger and Elms. Remember, Elms assets was a lot of assets, but also the campus vehicles. It's interesting that they put Bollinger in there because a lot of people feel good about Bollinger Motors. I know I've said multiple times, I think 2024 is gonna be the year for Mullen and Bollinger. Well, it's actually true because that's when Bollinger is going to start production. And supposedly Bollinger already has like 50,000 pre-orders of their vehicles. So again, if you have any information on that with Bollinger or any more credible resources that talk about the 50,000 that they already have sold pretty much, people are waiting on it, let me know down below. Oh, and we'll have the valuation completed for the preparation of its consolidated financial statements, and we'll file the form 10K, which we were expecting yesterday, within the 15-day extension period provided under Rule 12B. So that's what this is, Rule 12B. That's what this document is explaining of the Securities Acts of 1934. So if you do 15 business days from yesterday, it would actually be January 19th is the last day that they can put the 10K out. Now it says here that they'll be doing it within the 15-day extension. So even if you go from yesterday to the 19th or 18th, if they're counting yesterday, at some point they have to drop the 10K with before the 19th of January, which is interesting because they have till the 22nd to be NASDAQ compliant. So I don't know if this is going to be a positive thing for Mullen in the short term, and I'll share the charts with you in a second and also why I think that is. But in the long term, I don't think this really has any effect on it. It's just they want to get more clarity, it seems like, on their assets and what they've actually accomplished over this last year, being 2023. It looks like part 4, name and telephone number of person to contact in regard to this notification. So Jonathan, there's his number. And then these are some questions. This is just other information. If you want to take a screenshot of this and read this for yourself, I'm not going to go over this right now. Well, actually right here is interesting. It says, is it anticipated that any significant change in results of operations from the corresponding period for the last fiscal year will be reflected? They put yes. So that's a positive thing. They have a lot to report. All right, let's talk about the daily time frame for Mullen Automotive right now. I'm going to update you on everything that I look at. The RSI, just so everyone is aware, is at 49. Let's talk about this for a second, this green line right here. We've hit this line, this area, 49, let's just call it, 47, 48, pretty much. We've hit it 2 other times and have bounced from it. And we start crashing down. So if you just look at the chart, pull up your RSI, you'll see around the 47, 48 range on a daily time frame. We hit it and then we bounce down. We actually have hit it 3 times recently, I would say, and then just crashed lower. You can see we're trading in this falling wedge pattern right here, and we are not breaking it. This blue line that I drew for you all is just keeps going up and then we fall back down. Just so you're all aware, I'm not going to give you an actual price, but just an area would be like this. But another thing that's kind of setting up that could potentially happen, just because I do think it's negative that they pushed the 10K back, is we bounced off of this. We actually pulled back, so we could actually come down a little lower, create an inverse head and shoulders for Mullen, and then move higher. So I drew this blue line right here for you, which is a possibility because we pulled back so much off of this area. I would want to it would actually be a good thing if Mullen can pull back a little bit, find some support in this area, and that area being around, it would be the 618 level and the 786 level on a fib, basically being around under 13 bucks, and then again under $12, around 11.50-ish range. So I would want us to hold, if we do pull back, about 11.50-ish, I would say. If we can hold that, that would create this next shoulder right here. If this is forming an inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish pattern, and that could happen in the next several days, being next week. We know Mullen has been putting out a bunch of good news, which is positive. It's a lot different than what they've done this last year, and the dilution seems to have settled and cooled down. But this is just kind of what I'm looking at with the news they put out yesterday, the charts, my overall standpoint with Mullen, talking to Brad, Randy Marion, all of it, right? So again, I think this could be a potential to play out. We pull back and then we move higher, but time will tell and we'll see. The stochastic, obviously, momentum is just chilling in the middle. It can move up or we can pull back, but I think this is the most likely right here where we pull back a little bit. Hopefully we hold 11.50 range, might even just get back to the 618 level being 12.90-ish, right under 13 cents. Or $13, excuse me, and then move higher. Of course, it's not financial advice. Gotta do your own research. Have a good one.